Hi guys, it's me, Jeannie, the Witch of Boise, and I'm here to do your pick a card reading for the new moon in Capricorn that is happening January 31st, 2022. So make sure that you do like this video, hit subscribe, also comment below, tell me if any of this resonates with you. I love to read those comments. Before I begin to, make sure that you check out my Instagram. My handle is Witch of Boise, all one word. I do a card of the day every single day in my Instagram stories. And if you are interested in booking a reading with me, check out my website, witchofboise.com. Now, before I begin, I also want to say that this is a general read, so or general readings. So if this resonates with you, I'm so excited about it. Again, I want to hear all about it in the comments. If it doesn't resonate with you, remember it's a total of 3 different choices, so you can definitely watch all 3 of them and see what if something comes and picks up to you or resonates with you. So definitely watch all 3 if one of them does not resonate. Now, while I was doing this, these readings, there's going to be songs that are listed on there. Those songs, you can either look up the lyrics or listen to them. They might have additional messages for you. Now, the 3 choices, I got them from the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. So I looked up Capricorns, what crystals or stones that are associated with Capricorns, and that's how these are found. I actually shuffled through them and get them, so they are all ready to go. So let's get your choices. So for number 1, this is number 1. It is the Clear Quartz. For number 2 is the Labradorite. And then for number 3 is the Black Tourmaline. So 1, 2, 3, pick a cat and a cat. We're gonna start with number 1. And number 1 is that Clear Quartz, and it is purification. So I'm gonna put these cards down. One of the things too, the songs that came on was the Female Goat by Lakya and City Girls, Harvest Moon by Neil Young, and The Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd. Now, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and it's really hard. Okay, so the Clear Quartz is purification in this deck, and this is the crystal reading cards. But it also, in the Crystal Bible, is the most powerful and healing. And by the way, if you're seeing, these are my notes so on each of them. So it's the most powerful healing energy amplifier. It raises energy higher, so you get a higher vibrations, as well as it cleanses energy. So it's a really cool stone to have. So we're going to start off with our overall energy, and it's kind of interesting. This whole reading is very interesting. All 3 of them actually were. You got 29 and Badger. So Badger is aggressiveness. This is quick to express feelings or thoughts, and that's without thinking about the consequences. It's kind of very blunt and aggressive in that sense. And it can also be gossiping, and it's that chip on your shoulder energy. And maybe this is also something where if you're like, this is not me, this can be an energy that is happening towards you, or this can be something where you're being too shy or too off guard to stand up for what you believe in and what you are wanting. Just like stand up for yourself. So let me get these cards turned over. So for your tarot cards, your tarot cards, you had the 5 of Pentacles being clarified by the 9 of Swords. Then you had the Hierophant clarified by the 2 of Swords. And then you had the Tower clarified by the Knight of Swords. So there's an energy that's happening where you kind of feel like you're left out in the cold, that like things aren't going your way. The cool thing about this is that this new moon in Capricorn is going to be like a purification energy that's happening. So there's a lot of anxiety, maybe depression, maybe just drama in general. And it's just like really weighing you down. And just know that this stuff is starting to change. There's going to be a massive change that is happening, and it's going to be very quick. So I would not be surprised it wouldn't be within this next moon phase of that new moon in Capricorn. There's also like a lesson that keeps coming up, and this isn't the same thing, like the same situation, but it's the same lesson that you need to learn. And so you're kind of at a standstill. So if something that keeps happening and it's the same thing over and over again, you're choosing the wrong thing because it keeps happening. So you're not learning your lesson. So the standstill moment is the moment to actually do that full circle moment and realize, you know what? I'm not going to do this again. This is BS. I don't want to, so I'm going to choose the other path. So keep that in mind, and that's what is going to create that massive change. And I think no matter what path you choose on that lesson, whether you're going to have it repeat or whatnot, there still is going to be a massive change. But if you're wanting a big switch that's happening, definitely choose that other way, the other lesson to complete that. So you don't have to do it again. Then you understand, okay, it's not going to be the end of the world if I do it this way rather than what I've been doing. Then you have love, compassion. So with that is coming for, at least with this energetic energy that's happening, there's this like aggressive energy, and I feel like that's a part of this change. Just make sure that you are showing yourself and others that love and compassion, and just know that things are changing. It's going to be a little bit of stress, and it's going to be that purification. There's going to be things that are changing massively. So this can be even removing relationships and situations from your life. And you might not want to, but the thing is that's the change that is happening, and it's happening for your greatest good. So just go at it with love and compassion. And just know that even if relationships end or situations happen and you're like, oh, I don't want it to end and blah, 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 or I don't want it to change, just go at it with love and compassion. I think you'd be really surprised how that change is going to bring in something completely different when you go that route. And then you got Unag, and that is, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So this is something where it's do not force things. So like, let's go back to that lesson, that crossroads. So that's going to be like the ultimate time where you will have that control, and you need to have that control of what you're going to do. Everything else, you need to let it happen. This Tower moment, the Tower card does not scare me like a lot of people do not like the Tower card. And I just see it as massive change. And don't force it. Do not force any of it. Let it unfold and happen the way it's intended to. Because once you start to get into it and you start to control a situation, it just like lingers more. Or that change, that really big change that's going to put you into that next level that you are looking for, it's not even going to get you there. So it's just let it happen the way it's intended to. Do not force it. Then you have 29, 5th house, creativity. And number 10, Neptune, sacrifice. So right now you're going to be going through a lot of sacrifices. That is with that 5 of Pentacles, that there's just like ick energy that's happening. And with that purification and that energy getting cleansed out of your life and out of this situation that you're in, you're going to feel like you're sacrificing some things. But the fact of the matter is that sacrifice is going to bring you more joy and bring you more just better energy. You're going to purify this gross crap that's happening. So just don't focus on, oh, I'm going to have to sacrifice this, or like, I feel like I'm doing all of this stuff and I'm just not getting any reward or whatnot. Stop getting your mind out of that. And Neptune is also about illusions as well. So it's making sure that you view things clearly and not in a biased sense. And that, at least for me as a card reader, And when I do readings for myself, I have a really hard time because I'm so biased in my situation. I can't step outside of myself, and it becomes an illusion of something that really isn't there, but it is. It's very strange, and I'm having a bad time explaining it. But with the 5th house and creativity, this is the time when this massive change is happening and you start to kind of feel that like uncomfortableness. It's time to really hone in and lean into your creativity. So that can be writing, drawing, just getting your creative juices going, and really get that outlet, that frustration or negativity or anything like that where you're just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Hone in on that creativity and really make that be your outlet. Because I think some of you might be surprised that that's going to be that huge change that's happening. Now, we have the healing, the divine masculine. The divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, and a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of your life. And your inner masculine is going through healing right now, growing stronger in the ability to offer you inner protection and stability so that inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. This is exactly what I just said. So it's that there's going to be an uncomfortableness that's happening, but that's because you're growing, and it's that healing the divine masculine, and that feminine energy is going to be starting to create beautifully. And then you have the knot of Isis. Part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with the goddess. This means that not only do you have an important task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You're deepening your connection to the goddess. So this is telling you that even through trials and tribulations, you're going to be having this power, protection, and abundance that's happening. So with all of this energy that is going on with that 5 of Pentacles, you'll be fine. And just know that you are in this really sweet spot, that things are going to start changing really, really quick. And you're going to see your life is going to be in that purification. All right, that's it for you for number 1. Make sure you do like this video, hit subscribe, also comment below. Tell me if any of this resonates with you. We are on to number 2, which is the Labradorite, and that is Take Action. So the songs that came on were You Are Invited by the Dismemberment Plan, War All the Time by Thursday, and Heavy Mood by Tilly and the Wall. And Labradorite in the Crystal Bible is it's a protective energy. It's the bringer of positive energy. It's a transformation happening, and it shows and heals and helps with spiritual purpose. So there's big energy that is happening here. So I'm trying to get these because I noticed when I put all of these up and put them in the stack, oh my goodness, they're just, I want to make sure that they were all correct. So I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a mess, but we're good. Okay. So with Labradorite, we have 2 energies that are happening, and that's going to be Mouse energy, and that's number 20, and then Moose energy, and that's number 11. And Mouse is about scrutiny, and it's to look at the larger picture of things and not get so focused on the details. It's also being able to look at yourself and others and see what their intentions are, or what your intentions are, and really kind of scrutinize that if it's becoming like apparent that it's not good energy. With Moose, it's self-esteem. So it's a balance between leadership and helping. So it's like being able to give tasks, but also do them. And it's feel proud of what you've accomplished and how far you've come so far. Now, for your tarot cards, we have the 3 of Swords being clarified by the High Priestess. Then you have the 2 of Swords reversed, clarified by the 2 of Pentacles. And then we have the 4 of Cups being clarified by Strength in reverse. So there's a breakthrough that's happening for you. And I feel like, honestly, all three of these choices are like interchangeable. There's a connection because there's a huge breakthrough that is going to be happening for all of us. And it's going to be really trusting your intuition during this time. And for some of you, you might be going through some heartbreak. You might be going through some devastation that has to deal with like betrayal and heartbreak. But it's really honing in on your intuition. And again, with that mouse energy, scrutinizing why did this happen? Or if this is a person that has hurt me, like, obviously it's okay to move on because they suck. You know, it's that kind of thing. And that's what's building up that self-esteem too. And there's a decision that like you are not, I think that you used to be on the fence with, but you are very much like, nope, you know exactly what you're going to do. And you know what the work that has to be done. And that's going to be a lot of balancing as well. And this is my personal card of the year, is the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like this decision is going to be coming to a head this year. But it's going to be a big balancing act. So it's just knowing that there's going to be a lot of work that's going to be needed, but you have the ability and the power to do it. The biggest suggestion right now is to stay in the present with that Four of Cups, because every time that you look back or you start to think about what has happened to you, who has done you wrong, or you think about a situation that didn't work into your favor, you're losing that strength, and you are not in that high vibration to be like this, you know, let's focus on what the present is. And it really just lowers that vibration, and it does make you, in a sense, really, really weak. And it makes you be like go backwards instead of forwards. So right now you have the lake, stillness, and that tells me that you need to really be still and feel your feelings. So if something that is like shocking, I just had some news today that was like, whoa, and like my kind of energy was a little bit all over the place about it. And you just need to be still and really feel all of those feelings. So really sit there still and feel what is happening and what you're going through. And you're going to really start to understand yourself a lot more and be like, and you'll get over the situation a lot better when you actually understand what these feelings are, and even getting to the root of it and being like, oh, they're stemming from this, obviously. Then you have Coventina, purification. It's time for a cleansing, detoxification of your body and your mind. And I honestly feel like with this self-esteem and this scrutiny, mouse energy is that's what is happening, is that you are purifying your life. You are purifying situations or relationships that no longer work for you. And it's also the time to really focus on your health in that sense of watching what you're putting into your body. And that can be just like not drinking or smoking or things like that. So there's a switch that's happening for you. And it might not be apparent right away, but this is something to really consider. And then Isis, past life. This situation involves your past life memories. And like, again, I feel like all three of these readings are like interconnected, because I feel like there's a situation or a lesson or something that is happening in your life. And I feel like it is this like Three of Swords energy, and it's happened in your past life and you're trying to get this over and done with. You don't want to do this again in your next life. So if something feels familiar and it isn't, that's where it's coming from. And then you have third house, messages, and this is number 27. So really watch for messages from the spirit world. This can be text messages, emails, comments, things like that, phone calls, because things are going to start to come in. And again, you need to be you have to scrutinize it and see where it's coming from. Doesn't mean you have to have a wall or a barrier, but it's just knowing what angle is this? And don't let it get into the way of what your decision is and what you're trying to move forward. Don't let distractions happen, because that's going to get you derailed and you're not going to be able to go for what you're wanting. And then you got the flower of life, and you are entering a fertile period of your life. You are guided to think of yourself as a creative being and to surrender your control over how things will manifest and instead allow them to do so. Oh my gosh. Don't resist change. Instead, go with the flow and let it happen. Now is the time for your blossoming. And that's totally what's happening, is that you're clearing house, you're clearing out your spirit, your soul, your life, and you have to understand that with this action, with that Labradorite and taking that action, you're spring cleaning in a essentially, and you are getting stuff done, and like things are going to start to happen. You're going to enter that period of time that you've been wanting for a while. All right, guys, that is it for that reading. Make sure you do like this video, hit subscribe, comment below if any of this resonates with you. We are on to number 3, and that is Black Tourmaline, and that is protection. And with Black Tourmaline, in the Crystal Bible, is protection from negative energy. This is protection from spells and hexes, and encourages positivity. The songs that came in was Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic by The Police, Black by Pearl Jam, and See It by Color Revolt. Let me get these cards out. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So, your energies are Hummingbird number 44, and that's joy. And loving life, laughter, music, enjoying Earth's miracles. It's relaxing and dropping judgment. Then you have 37, and that's antelope, and that's action. And it's don't wait, it's time for action, and strength in mind and heart. And I'm telling you, all 3 of these readings are connected, because all 3 of them have these different aspects that are the same freaking thing. It's crazy. But you have this protection with that Black Tourmaline. So it's just knowing, being happy and knowing that whatever action you take, that you're being protected. Your tarot cards are the Knight of Cups being clarified by the 7 of Swords in reverse. And then it's Death being clarified by the Tower in reverse. And then the Page of Cups being clarified by the 8 of Wands. And then the 2 of Cups being clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. And there's going to be a situation, an offer coming in for you. And you need to make sure that your walls are lowered, that you're just going in with like joy and happiness, and take action. Don't be passive right now. You don't have to worry about things that are coming towards you. Now, there's a situation that you think has ended, and this is such a weird combo, which is the Death being clarified by the Tower. And I feel honestly like this is something that you felt was dead, but it actually isn't. It looks like it's dead, but there hasn't been a massive change in order for it to be. So I totally get like zombie energy off of that. Typically with just the Death card, no way. But like with that Tower in reverse, there isn't a change that is happening, and it needs to end. So that change needs to happen in order for things to go. So this can be like someone that's coming back into your life that you just don't want, and just know where it's go with joy and love in your heart. And if it's something that you're not into, then you're not into it. Just be direct and honest. But you are going to be getting a emotional message. This is a message from the heart pretty quickly with that in the new moon in Capricorn. And I feel like this is going to be during the moon phase of that. It's going to be really, really quick. It might not necessarily be like a romantic or love per se, but it's something that's going to really tug at your heartstrings. And for the people that are single, there's going to be someone that is coming in, but you can't control it. You got to let go of control, let it happen on its own timing, but it is coming. And I do feel like a lot of single people will be choosing this with the island in solitude because you're feeling a little bit lonely. And that's, again, know that that's going to be changing. Now, if you're in a relationship or you don't feel that way, it's time to really focus on that solitude and focus on like yourself and your own time and taking time for yourself. The autumnal equinox, which is release, this is time to release old energies, release just baggage and BS, and just know that these like beautiful energies are coming towards you. And so it's time to feel that protection of like, it's okay to let go. It's okay for this to leave. Then you have Sarasvati, and that is the arts. Express yourself through creative activities. So this is also the time in this solitude and when you're focusing on yourself. And again, that can be if you're in a relationship or not, you need to really focus on yourself. This is not the time to be focusing on other people's drama or their problems. You need to really focus on yours. And the biggest thing is with arts. You need to make sure that you are getting yourself in tune with that. And that can be just as simple as listening to music, writing short stories, just like BS stuff, or doodling, just getting back into like that creative space. And you're going to be actually really surprised how good you feel once you get into that. Then you have one sun, spirit. And in tarot, the sun is like one of the most positive cards you can get. And so this is just even more confirmation right now that you are solely protected and you are able to go for your joy. And I feel like with for some of the people that are choosing this, they're a little worried by if they choose their joy, it might hurt someone, or it might be not what people expect, or it might not be in a traditional sense. The thing is you need to find your joy and know that you're protected by that. You're protected. Spirit is protecting you. Spirit is guiding you. And just because you have been taught or told you have to do a certain way, you don't have to do it that way. So like my thing is, and this is just an example, it doesn't necessarily have to do with this reading, but what I'm trying to say is like, if once you turn a certain age, you're supposed to get married, have kids, have a job, buy a house, and that kind of thing. And that might not be your thing. And it's totally cool if it is, but that might not be your thing. And it's okay to stray from what people expect from you. If what people expect from you doesn't bring you joy, then you know what? F them. You do what makes you happy because spirit is behind you. Now, you have life restored, and that is spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Now that is that death card. And I thought this before I even got to this card. I'm like, this doesn't feel like it's an actual death. And then once this card came up, I'm like, yeah. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. And I totally believe that. And then Pillar of Light, which, I mean, we just got the sun card. Pillar of Light, burning bright, sun or earth star below, soul star above. Burn all that is not night. Transform all into an unconditional love. Star of Isis, descend your blessing and peace without end. Grace me now with peace and protection, completely embraced by divine perfection. Oh my God. That's the Black Tourmaline, man. Like, you are protected. So I just know that really great stuff is happening to you, and just go with it. Take action for what you want to do, and just know that you're protected. You're being divinely guided by spirit. And it's time to release that BS and just go for it. Just go for it. But don't get into it where you're controlling everything. And that's kind of the fine line with taking action, but also letting things unfold itself. All right, guys, that is it for that reading. Make sure you do like this video, hit subscribe, also comment below. Tell me if any of this resonates with you. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you liking and commenting, because all of your interactions with this video helps build my channel, helps me get into the algorithm, and spreads the word of Witch of Boise. Again, if you want to have a reading done by me, check out my website, witchofboise.com. Also, check me out on Instagram. That is where I'm most active, is on Instagram. My handle is Witch of Boise. And I'm on every freaking social media you can find, and it's all Witch of Boise, one word. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and we'll hang out soon. Bye!